Welcome back to Elite Rentals. I'm James Corwell. Today we're looking at what's happening in Venezuela and why it matters for Caribbean yachting. Subscribe for more yacht charter insights and you'll find useful links in the description. Let's get straight into it. In recent years, Venezuela has remained a focal point in northern South America due to economic strain, intermittent sanctions, and ongoing maritime enforcement near its coastline and offshore islands. You may also have seen headlines about the territorial dispute involving Guyana's Essequibo region and an uptick in naval presence in parts of the southern Caribbean. For most leisure yachting activity, these developments are not front and centre day to day, but they do shape insurance positions, captain decision making, and how we plan safe, efficient Caribbean itineraries, especially if you're considering the southern fringes of the region. Why it matters: the Caribbean is large, and the majority of charters take place well north of Venezuela in established cruising corridors like the Virgin Islands, St. Martin, St. Barth's, Antigua, and the Grenadines chain between St. Vincent and Grenada. These areas continue to operate normally for charter. The impact comes when itineraries push toward the southwestern corner of the basin, think Grenada to Trinidad, or the ABC islands of Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, or when clients ask about Venezuela's offshore archipelagos like Los Roques, La Tortuga, or Los Testigos. Those zones can involve heightened permitting, more complex compliance, and in some cases insurance restrictions that most charterers understandably choose to avoid. Here's a simple practical snapshot of the map. To the west, you have the ABC Islands administered by the Kingdom of the Netherlands. They're well run, outside the hurricane belt, and popular for diving and kite surfing. East of that, along Venezuela's coast, are national park archipelagos such as Los Roques, beautiful, shallow, sandy cays that are world famous among kiters and anglers. Further east and north, you reach Grenada and the Grenadines chain, which is one of the Caribbean's best island hopping routes. North of that lies the Leewards and the Virgin Islands. Most crude charters operate in these northern tracts, far from Venezuelan mainland waters. So, where are the real pinch points? First, the Venezuelan mainland coastline, the Gulf of Paria near Trinidad, and the waters immediately off the Paria Peninsula have historically seen occasional security incidents affecting small craft. Professional captains plan these areas very conservatively, and most luxury charter itineraries avoid them altogether. Second, some underwriters still treat Venezuelan territorial waters as elevated risk, which can trigger additional premiums or exclusions. And third, while Los Roques remains stunning, entry involves specific permits, national park fees, and local agent support. Many commercially compliant charter yachts simply choose not to visit because their insurers or owners will not authorize operations inside Venezuelan jurisdiction. For guests, the practical takeaway is simple. You have excellent alternatives that deliver the same sun, water clarity, and trade wind cruising with less complexity. From my experience, most first-time charterers don't realize how similar the water, wind, and anchorages feel across the windwards and leewards. If you loved the idea of sandbars and kiting in Los Roques, you may be just as happy in the Tobago Cays, Union Island, or Anegada, without crossing into waters that raise insurance hurdles. Let's talk compliance. If you were determined to visit Venezuelan archipelagos on a private, non-commercial boat, you'd engage a local agent, file advance paperwork, and plan for strict national park rules. But for charter yachts operating under MyBA or similar terms, the vessel's commercial certificates, insurance, and owner policy must align with any visit. The reality is that few Caribbean charter programs will authorize Venezuela calls right now. Most brokers will advise a safer, simpler plan in adjacent island groups that don't require the same permit stack. On insurance, many policies reference security advisories and may list Venezuelan waters under watch or restrictions. Practically, this means yachts stay clear of Venezuelan territorial seas, avoid the Gulf of Paria unless they are professionally repositioning, and route well offshore when transiting. If your itinerary includes Grenada or the ABC Islands, your crew will plan legs that keep ample distance from the mainland and stick to daylight arrivals. A detail worth noticing is that even without venturing close to Venezuela, you can still enjoy seamless island hopping. Grenada to Carriacou is about 35 nautical miles. Carriacou to Union and the Tobago Cays is a short hop, and Bonaire to Curacao is under 50 nautical miles, all within well-trafficked waters. Security best practices we emphasize on charter remain straightforward. Daylight passages wherever practical, staying within recognised yacht routes, constant VHF 16 monitoring, and appropriate watch protocols at anchor. Captains file pre-arrival notices and keep local clearance formalities tight. On the guest side, the best thing you can do is choose an itinerary that doesn't force long exposed night legs and stick to islands with solid infrastructure. A small tip here. If you're planning a Grenadines charter in peak season, consider starting in St. Lucia and finishing in Grenada or the reverse. You'll enjoy a true downwind progression with shorter hops and no need to push south of Grenada. For the ABC Islands, we often recommend a one-way Bonaire Curaçao or Curaçao Aruba plan, focused on diving and calm, leeward anchorages, then a short flight home, again never requiring entry into Venezuelan jurisdiction. If you're thinking about planning a charter, Elite Rentals can help. We align vessel selection, insurance realities, and your preferred activities into a clean itinerary. The link is in the description. Now, quick word on seasons. Trade winds in winter typically sit in the 15 to 25 knot range from the northeast, which is ideal for stable passages and kite surfing. The ABC Islands are outside the core hurricane belt, making them a dependable choice in late summer and early fall if you want a shoulder season charter. The windwards and leewards are classic winter picks, with the Grenadines offering the quintessential sandbar and reef experience without any need to push farther southwest. Before we wrap, a few quick planning pointers. Keep your route inside a single, coherent island group to minimise formalities. The Grenadines or the Virgin Islands each make a perfect one-week loop. Build in one rest day at anchor midweek. Guests often appreciate an unhurried day for water sports and spa. Confirm your toy wish list with your broker early. E-foils, kites and dive support can be prioritised without complicating the route. Let your captain file arrivals for daylight when feasible. It's safer and more pleasant. Thanks for staying through this overview. The Caribbean remains wide open for charter, with very little reason to approach Venezuelan waters for a great week on board. Focus your plan on the Virgin Islands, Leewards, Grenadines or ABC Islands. Pick a yacht that fits your party and activities and let the crew manage the details. Thanks for watching. If you're ready to plan your charter, visit Elite Rentals using the link in the description. And don't forget to subscribe for more yacht insights.